Every single time I have reversed out of my driveway at home for the last time before I embark on any of my expeditions, something quite profound happens to me. I want you to try and picture the scene. I'm reversing out of my home. I live 23 kilometers north of East London. We all know East London's the business mega center of South Africa. I'm sitting in my car, and sitting next to me is my beautiful wife, Kim. Sitting behind me is my little daughter, Hannah. And in the back of my bakkie, I have all the equipment and food and whatever we need to sustain ourselves with for that expedition. And as I'm reversing out, I have a look at my garden, I have a look at my home, and I have a look at everything around me. And two thoughts go through my mind. The first one, I keep quiet about. I think, I wonder if I'm ever going to see that place again, or this place again. And secondly, and most importantly, I turn to Kim and I say, Kim, isn't this absolutely so brilliant? Because in a few months' time, you and I are going to be driving back into this driveway, and when we do this, there's going to be a story that needs to be told. Jeez, and I wonder what that story is going to be. And how do we make sure that that story that I'm going to tell is going to be a successful story? As we're sitting here today, every single one of you and one of your clients and all of your clients have a vision for their lives, for their businesses. Speaking of vision, I asked my daughter the other day, I said, Hannah, what do you want to become one day when you grow up? And she looked at me and she said, Dad, I want to become an extreme rock climbing ballerina. I said, Hannah, that's fine. You can become that. There's just no ways I'm taking you up a mountain wearing a tutu. It's just not going to happen. If you had to come back in a year's time, or your clients in a year's time, they will have a story to tell. And how do we make sure that that story is going to be successful and significant? And speaking of success, what is success and how do we become successful? Many books have been written about it. People speak about it. UCLA recently did a study on successful people. And they took people from good socioeconomic backgrounds, from good education, people that have been brought up with the right backgrounds, etc. And there is no one thing that shows what true success is. But 90%, 97% of those people showed a characteristic which is a significant predictor in a person's ability to succeed, and that is perseverance. Being able to persevere. Over the past 7 or 8 years, I've been involved in some amazing expeditions that have taken me to some of the highest, driest, coldest, windiest, wettest, most beautiful, most miserable parts of this planet. I've twice rowed across the Atlantic Ocean, 5,500 kilometer journeys. This time, a solo row across the Atlantic, 76 days, absolutely 100% alone. You may ask me, Peter, you must have learned an incredible amount about yourself. If you had to say, just give me one lesson that you've learned, I would say this, that you and I have been incredibly made. And that if we put the right processes in place in our lives and in our businesses, we absolutely can achieve anything, dare I say, the impossible. But to understand what is possible in our lives, we must first take on those things we've previously considered to be impossible. And in that journey, we will discover that we will come across times where we will be tested. And when we get through that moment of imminent disaster, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next, we will discover that that word impossible is just a self-imposed mental limitation, and that we truly do design our destiny, our own destinies. I have always driven back into that driveway with Kim, and there is always a significant and successful story to tell. In a few weeks' time, I will be embarking on an expedition with a Norwegian person that I met in this race to the South Pole. We will be trying to break the North Pole record of 37 days in an expedition called Vanishing Point. Now, when I get back from that expedition, there will be a story that needs to be told. Take me, use me in your conferences, and I will share that story, that process that allows us to tell a story, to leave a legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. I look forward to speaking at your conferences in the future. Thank you very much.